Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. As you can see, I am in my back garden this morning. I love working back here now. It wasn't my favorite place to work last year because it was like, I don't know, it was, let's call it rough around the edges before the renovation. And now I just love it because of the sound of the fountain. I feel like everything is just looking so pretty and we're making such great progress. It's really, like motivating, I would say. So I am back here and I am finally gonna plant up my Gothic planter right here from Haddonstone. This is the beautiful Gothic planter. This was probably the first thing that I fell in love with when I started looking at Haddonstone and looking to see what pieces they had. And this, oh, I just think it's so pretty. I think it's so pretty because I knew a gardener that had a planter. Actually, it was a fountain that she turned into a planter that had this very similar style to it. And I just thought it was really, really gorgeous. So this particular planter is made out of the original Haddonstone cast stone. And so if you look really close to it, it's a lot rougher. It has bigger aggregates in it compared to some of the other things that Haddonstone has that are more tech light products. For instance, my West Lodge fountain, the middle piece right there, that's a tech light piece. And then the Roman pool surround is a Haddonstone piece, which has the bigger aggregates to it. So I just love this because it's got like that rough, rustic feel to it. It's going to get really patinaed and just look absolutely beautiful. So when I was at Orchard Nursery in Lafayette last week, I picked up some really beautiful, cool colored plants to go in this planter. I have it hooked up to drip already, and so it's all ready to go, and I just have to plant it up. That's weird. This fertilizer, these granular fertilizers, they're all wet in here. I must have got some water in or something like that. That's very strange. Okay, so let me show you all what I'm planting in this planter. First off, as my thriller, I had to do a purple fountain grass. How can you not plant a purple fountain grass in that planter? It's just calling for it. So I know it's going to get big, but I think I'm planning to take this out at the end of the year. I know I always say that and I always leave my purple fountain grasses in place, but I do think I'm going to take it out at the end of the year because it'll just get way too big if I leave it to overwinter for next year. So I'll just have a little purple fountain grass in there as my thriller. And then for my filler slash spillers, I did get this Artemisia, and this is another one that's going to get really, really big. It kind of gets mounded. It's just so pretty. I just couldn't help myself. 24 inches tall and 36 inches wide. So it's definitely going to get really big and really full and kind of bump up against the purple fountain grass like that. Again, I just think it's going to be really pretty. And then for color, I wanted something cool because the terracotta of that piece of the Gothic planter is so fresh. It's like pretty orangey right now because it's so fresh and it's not patinaed at all, and it didn't get the white cast on it or anything yet. So as I'm waiting for it to age, I want to make sure I put cool flowers in there to kind of tone it down a little bit. And so I decided on Supertunia Vista Silverberry, which again I found at Orchard Nursery in Lafayette. So pretty. I've actually never grown this one before, so I'm actually really excited to grow it. And then just the classic Royal Velvet. I just love Royal Velvet, and that's just the absolute perfect one. But isn't that such a pretty combination? And I think it's going to look really good with the other blooms, the other colors that I have all around here, with the hoopla and then the snowdrift, Supertunia snowdrift, and then the violet ice, the Superbena. Hopefully you guys can see all that. It looks so pretty. It just looks so pretty back here. I don't know if you guys can hear that dove. I just love that sound. I love it. Okay. I love it. I love it even more than I thought I would. I love these colors in the terracotta. I just love this combination. The cool purpley bluish tones versus the terracotta, the orangey terracotta. Oh, I just think it looks so gorgeous. I love it. Okay, so that's gonna fill in. I did have some dichondra silver falls that I was tempted to put in here, and I think it would look really pretty, but it would also completely cover the pot. So I think at least for now, the first couple years, I don't wanna have a super spiller like dichondra that completely covers the pot, because I don't know, I just really want to appreciate the pot for now. So that's fine. I just gotta water it in, and then we just gotta put some emitters on. I'm going to put emitter tubing and just kind of loop it around in here, and that'll be really beautiful. And this is going to get huge. This is going to get really big. The Supertunia Vista Silverberry is going to get massive. So this is all going to get really big and just absolutely beautiful. I'm excited. So now what I want to do is I want to address my podocarpus hedge behind my Gothic planter. Now this hedge I transplanted about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. I got all of these podocarpus trees from my friend, landscape designer Roberta Walker, who actually took them out of a project that she's working on. And instead of tossing them in the landfill, I took them and I transplanted them. And I knew that some of them weren't going to like the transplant, and I thought maybe I would get, like 75% success, and I would say it's probably 75% success. You can see I've got some dead ones here. This one's kind of half gone or something, but most of them are doing pretty good, but the dead ones are sticking out like a sore thumb. So what I want to do, I'm being really, really careful with these. I'm giving them plenty of time to settle in, but if you can see, like on this one, I even have some new fresh growth. So that's fantastic. So I can actually come in here and I can take off some of the branches that got stressed and died, just kind of trim it off a little bit. And so what I want to do is I want to go through each tree. I want to check it to see how it's doing. And how I check it is I'm going to scratch it. I'm going to scratch it with my pruners. And I'm going to look to see if I have any fresh green growth underneath the bark. So if I scratch it like that, I can't even know. Focus. Come on, focus. There you go. So when I scratch this, it's dead, right? So this is totally dead. And if I come back to the trunk right here and I scratch the trunk, that's dead too. Oh, that's sad. So this tree is totally dead. So I'm going to take this tree out. But if I come over here and I look at this tree, why is my phone not focusing? It is having the hardest time. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I don't know why my phone is not focusing today. So if I look at this tree, you can see there's still some green on it, right? There's still some really good green on it, but there's some branches that definitely got stressed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to scratch each individual branch. Ooh, look at that. Can you see that green right there? So that means this branch is alive. Doesn't it look dead? doesn't this branch look completely dead? But it's not. By scratching the bark, the outer layer like that, you can kind of check. So I am going to actually leave this, and I'm not even going to take anything off. I'm going to totally leave it so it doesn't stress out, and let it start pushing new growth. And once it starts pushing new growth, then I can come in and I can prune some of the brown off. Now this one right here, this is actually the one podocarpus that I transplanted in January. I got this during my first round of getting all my plants. So I basically have gone twice with a U-Haul and picked up plants. And this one tree was in like a different spot. So they gave it to me back in January, and it did get some stress. You can kind of see some of the stress that it got on it, but it's already pushing new growth up there. So I can come in here now and I can trim off all of the old stuff, knowing that it's going to be perfectly fine. So the scratch test is a really great test to see how things are going. Now, as I'm doing this, I do want to explain that this is not always the thing that you want to do, pruning off the scorched foliage. If you had a heat wave, if it gets really hot and maybe hot wind or something like that, and your shrubs, say your hydrangeas or your camellias or even some of your annuals, if the foliage scorches and turns brown, you don't want to immediately prune that off. If you're still going to have heat, you want to wait till the heat dies down, because that scorched foliage is actually protecting the fresh foliage underneath, and it's actually protecting the plant. And so if you went through immediately and pruned off all of that scorched foliage, you actually would be causing more damage to the plant over the long run, because even more of it would scorch. So you just want to be really, really careful when you're pruning off scorched foliage. You have to think about what's going on with your weather, what's going on with the climate. I'm being really cautious because we are actually going to get up to like 100 degrees later this week. So I don't want to take off too much of this, but some of the branches are just completely dead and I'm not too worried about it. Some of them aren't really protecting underlying foliage. This foliage really did scorch because of the transplant as opposed to a heat wave or something like that. So just think about it as we're going into summer and things are going to start getting hot. Be really careful about pruning off scorched foliage, because sometimes that can actually hurt your plant more than help it. Okay, so here's where I'm at so far. This one was questionable. No, actually, I shouldn't say that. It wasn't questionable. It's doing fine. It just looks really stressed out, but it's totally alive based on the scratch test. That one right there. So all the other ones look great. This one I did have to take out and toss. It was totally dead. These three look perfect. This one I had to take out and toss because it was dead. So that was 2 gone. Then I get over to this one, and this one looks dead, right? Doesn't it totally look dead? But as I'm doing the scratch test, right there, look, it's green. So I really think the scratch test is the best way to go. I know this one looks absolutely terrible, but I'm obviously going to leave it because I don't want to take out a tree that's alive and is going to push out new growth eventually, right? Because trees are precious, trees are expensive, and I want to save them as much as I can. So I think I'm going to limp this one along and this one along. I can already tell that this one has some fresh new growth on the inside right there. So this one's good. I'm also not going to prune these two that much because I think if I prune too much, it will get really stressed out, especially this one over here. But this one is totally dead. I think this is the 3rd one that's totally dead. So out of 20 trees, I lost 3, which honestly, that's pretty good. I have to say I am pretty happy with that. I lost 3 and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are looking really, really stressed. So overall, really good transplant. We'll see, we'll kind of see how it goes, and I will just go to the store and I will replace the 3 that I actually took out and tossed. But I mean, it's not too bad as long as you're patient and you take time and kind of baby them a little bit. I mean, transplanting is hard, and it's not 100%. It's kind of like propagating. It's not 100%. You're not going to have a 100% success rate. But even if you have like a 50% success rate, I feel like that's pretty good odds. All right, well, there we have it. Maybe not amazing, not the best, but patience, faith in planting, right? Faith in planting. It will come with time, and pretty soon this podocarpus hedge is going to be gorgeous. I can't wait for the arborists to come and cut back my neighbor's trees. On my neighbor's street. That's going to look so good once they do that. But I want to wait until I have like a couple things for the arborist to do, and have them come out and do it all at once. I did want to show you guys this view because I was just looking at this. Look at how beautiful this is with the Gothic planter right there and then the Georgian fountain in the background. Oh, it just looks so good, so pretty. Things are really coming together. Okay, so Gothic planter is all done. Podocarpus hedge, all done as much as I can do right now. I actually just got off the phone with Michael Glassman, and he actually has some free time today, which is very lucky for me because that means he can come over here and we can talk about some design ideas for the next step of this back garden project. Now back here, it's looking great, but we still have some things we need to do. We need to get the peaks put on these posts here. We need to get the lattice and the window boxes on the back of the house, possibly the arbor to my office, possibly more gravel over here. So the list goes on and on and on. But Michael's gonna come over and we're gonna talk about some design ideas for this area back here behind my office in front of the chicken coop. This is also another area of the back garden that we wanted to address. Jason and I wanted to address this year. And I thought about putting the Michael Glassman in this video, but I think it might be just a little too long. So I'll actually put it in tomorrow's video. So I will say goodbye for now, but stay tuned tomorrow for a Michael Glassman design consult, I guess I'll say. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.